What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this no BS video on Keepa Product Finder. You will 100% find new leads with this video. It's very important you stick all the way through. I say some tips in the middle that are really crucial to finding new leads. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. I have this 22-minute video training that I gave away on Twitter. Now I'm posting it on YouTube. Go ahead and watch this. Let me know what you think in the comments, all right? Keepa Product Finder, one of my favorite tools out there, kind of revolutionized my business. You know, we were using SellerAmp a lot. Back when I started around a year and a half ago, SellerAmp was really taking off. Keepa Product Finder's always been there, but you know, we pay for the subscription, but we don't use all the tools that they offer us. And this is just another tool to put into our tool belt. So if we actually go into this little training here, you can see why I use KPF. First of all, KPF, Keepa Product Finder, right? From now on, that's what I'm going to be using. One, it's under the radar. Why I say under the radar is because if everybody is using SellerAmp to reverse storefront stock, well, the thing that's going to happen is that everyone's going to buy the same listings, the good ones, the profitable ones, and listings tank. Whereas with Keepa Product Finder, well, we're able to find listings that we have like a first mover's advantage, right? We're able to get onto that listing, and now we're either the first, the second, the third seller, because we're going to be able to put filters to really ensure that we're like one of the first ones on the listing. So by doing that, it gives us a significant competitive advantage to be having that first move and actually getting a listing that performs well until it tanks eventually. It's part of the game with OA. But this will at least give us a head start. Gives you control over the data. Using filters, we can go and seek ASINs that have a specific price point, have specific drops, have specific competition, right? I only want maximum 4 sellers. It drops 20 times a month, and the price is $50, right? We know that the fact that we put the price at $50, our cost of goods sold is going to at least be $25. If it's cheaper, well, I'm just going to make more profit, but it's probably going to be around that $25 mark, because usually we're selling for double the price. So if we're searching for $50, well, we're going to get things that will realistically be half that of cost of goods sold. It's free, right? I put that in quotes because at the end of the day, we're still paying for the Keepa subscription, but it is free because we're doing it anyways, and it's a free tool after that. And also because it's just really freaking good. It allows you to find leads pretty quick, and it's very similar to reverse storefront stocking, right? It's reverse sourcing most of the time. We can also use it for manually sourcing, but it just facilitates everything. So let's just keep on going. There's 2 techniques that I mainly use. There's a bunch of them out there. There's obviously manually sourcing with Keepa Product Finder, right? The act of just accelerating the process of manual sourcing, because it could be long, mundane, and tedious to do manual sourcing. And this just adds a little bit of an acceleration. There's a couple more steps to take, but it just makes the overall process a little bit easier. Number 2, Keepa Product Finder, reverse sourcing, right? Very similar to reverse storefront stocking, but instead of starting at a storefront, we have a list of leads that we know perform well on Amazon. Now it's just about getting them at a profitable price. So not everybody is selling it. Obviously someone is, but we're not going into a storefront trying to seek it. We're really starting on a listing that performs well. Like I said before, we're kind of filtering to get less competition, and that's kind of the overall goal with that, is getting listings, ASINs with low competition that perform well, and then finding it at a profitable price. We're going to be looking over these 2 main techniques that I use. First off, let's just look at manually sourcing with Keepa Product Finder. So step 1, you need to find a retailer that you want to source, either because there's a big sale going on, or it's just because you know that retailer pretty well. For this example, I'm going to be showing Sephora. I did this example a while back, so I just took a couple of screenshots, and I'm going to be explaining it throughout instead of going on the website. So for this example, I go on to the sales section of Sephora, because obviously easier to get things at a good price if they're on sale. The only con with this is that it's going to be hard to replenish afterwards if it's not a product that's consistently on sale. But you can do this whether products are on sale or not. So you can go straight to a brand, or you just hunt the sales section. We still got to find the brand, right? So step 2, we got to open up Keepa Product Finder on a different tab. If you have 2 monitors, you can be running 2 screens. If not, we're doing it like this. So you're going to go to Keepa, you're going to press data, right? Which is on the top right here, this first arrow. And then we're going to click Product Finder. That's going to bring us to Keepa Product Finder. It's really as easy as that. Step 3, we got to filter down. So we need to hunt for a specific brand. Okay, this is why I said at the beginning, you can either go the on sale route, or you can just go brand wide. But let's say you do go the specific sale route, well, we still want to pick only one brand, because it's going to make it easier for Keepa Product Finder. So in this example, I'm going to take Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. I've sold this product before. I know I'm ungated in it, and I know that, the brand could potentially give me profit. So I select it, and I also select it because it just so happens to be the brand that, other than Sephora collection itself, which I've never had great luck with, that I know that has a lot of products on sale compared to the rest, right? You have Frank Body also, but I'm not really familiar with that brand. So I'll pick Fenty Beauty. So once we do that, we're going to move on. We're going to go back to Keepa Product Finder, right? We're going to scroll down, and all we're going to do when we manually source is we're going to make sure that we put the keyword of the brand, and also, if you can, change the root category, right? So you have the root category up here. I'm going to put it in beauty because it's a beauty brand. And then I'm going to put in the text fields here, Fenty Beauty. In this way, I'm going to get every single Amazon listing that has Fenty Beauty and is under the beauty category. Step 5, while applying filters, if you want, you can put minimum prices, maximum prices, drops per month. You can be as specific as you want. That being said, at the end of the day, we're just going to be copy-pasting from the retail website the name of the product and trying to find it on Keepa Product Finder, right? So once we put in all our filters, right, in this example, I'm going to put in a $38 minimum buy box, right? Because I just so happened to go look at the products of Fenty Beauty, and I was like, listen, the average price is around $20. So I need to go and find the buy box. There's no point if the buy box is at $28. I know that I'm not going to make a profit on it. So like I told you before, right, usually what we're selling is going to be double the cost of goods sold. So if the average price is around $20, well, we're going to be looking for products at $40. I put it at $38 just to give myself a little bit more room to find more of those products that maybe are tanked for the moment, but I want to put it on a watch list. So once we do that, usually I go pretty light with the filtering. You can also add drops per month, etc. But for now, this leads me with 35 products. So I'm like, listen, with 35 products, there's 11 of them on sale. Let's try to find a couple that match. So step 6, you got to press find, and now we're going to get that list of products. I recommend categorizing by sales rank so that you can see which products sell really the quickest. Right? Then we get the list of products. Now, I noticed when I put this screenshot that I didn't have the buy price, right? The on Amazon. I would ideally, you can do configure columns on the top left, and I would ideally add what the price of the product is, because it's always good to see the visual of that too. But once we copy the keyword, right? Now we have all the products from Fenty Beauty. We're going to be going in here and basically going back onto the retail website. And we're going to be copying example match sticks, right? We see that normally it's a product $33. It's on sales for $16. So usually when things are almost 50% off, if they are on Amazon, it's usually going to be a pretty good deal. So I'm going to copy the match sticks, and we're going to go back to Keepa Product Finder, and we're just going to paste, right? I put match. So we're going to see here, Fenty Beauty by Rihanna match, right? And you also have, on my arrow right here, Fenty Beauty by Rihanna matchstick. Same thing, different color. So you have to really make sure that it is a good product. What we see here, the sales rank, disgusting. 132,887. Then you just got to go in there, analyze the Keepa data, and qualify the leads. So this video is not going to teach you necessarily how to actually analyze Keepa data, but that's kind of what we're going to do to accelerate manual sourcing. So doesn't matter the brand. Once you're there, now you're just going based off of what you think will look good to sell on Amazon. Copy the keyword, not of the brand now, but of the actual product, of the SKU that you're selling, and paste it into the Control F of Keepa Product Finder. This will just now, if there's nothing, it means that it doesn't sell on Amazon or it doesn't fit your filters, and it might bring you straight to the product on Amazon, and now you're able to analyze it yourself. What I would say, a little bonus, right, is make sure you're actually going in and doing a deep dive on the product itself, because it has a bad sales rank doesn't mean that if you open up the Keepa data and you go back a whole year, well, you're going to be able to see maybe a product was significantly cheaper, or maybe only like 20% cheaper, or even it's filled with FBM sellers right now, and you as an FBA seller, well, you see on the Keepa data, every time an FBA seller comes in, now we're starting to get sales. So again, this is the act of being a first mover's advantage of finding those listings that maybe aren't performing well right now at its given price, or because it's only FBM sellers, and jumping on, making the adjustments that are necessary to make the BSR better. And in doing so, you are now the first one on the listing, benefiting from all the sales that listing truly, the true potential of that listing. Now we're going to go on to the next way to find leads using Keepa Product Finder is reverse sourcing. So reverse sourcing is the idea of starting on an Amazon listing with a solid Keepa chart and hunting for it at a prompt. It's a basic technique. It's called reversed if you guys don't know, because usually we already find the lead on example Sephora, and now we're trying to go find on Amazon the listing. This way we already find the listing on Amazon, and now we're trying to hunt for the product at a profitable price. So we're doing it in reverse. So this is one of my favorite ways to actually source with Keepa Product Finder. Manual sourcing is great when I want to do manual sourcing, but this can lead into a lot of good leads fairly quick. So how to reverse source with KPF, right? We have three main ways. You can do immediately reverse source the whole brand that I just sourced, manually or storefront. So let's say I'm storefront stocking, or I do manual sourcing, and without Keepa Product Finder, and I actually find a profitable brand. Well, now it's time to do kind of exactly like what I did before, but instead of doing that with a retail website, well, now we're going to reverse source. And don't worry, I'm going to teach you how to do that a little bit later. So right away, we find a brand that sells well, or one product that actually sells well. We're going to go deep dive into that brand. We're going to put in the filters that we want, and we're going to check every single listing and make sure that we try to find at least one or two extra ones that can also sell on Amazon for a profitable price. And I would tell you off the top of my head, this is not a real necessarily number, but like 60-70% of the time that I find a new brand that I haven't sold yet, I'm able to go and get 2 or 3 more ASINs using Keepa Product Finder. Number 2 is reverse sourcing brands that I've sold before, right? Pretty easy. You go into your seller board, you go and check all the brands that you've ever sold before this video, right? Because this is assuming that you've never used Keepa Product Finder reverse source, and you can go and reverse source all those brands. So you don't even need to go and find new products at this point. You already have brands in your inventory that have profitable leads in them, right? That you haven't sold yet, and Keepa Product Finder will help you find those. And number 3 is the shotgun approach. Number 1 and 2 is pretty easy. I want to kind of highlight the shotgun approach here. And why I call it a shotgun approach is because we're not starting with any brand as a starting point or as a data point, right? Because number 2, we have all our data in the brands that we sold in the past. And number 1, we're going based off the brand that we're actually sourcing at the given moment. Number 3, we're just putting out filters out there with no specific brand. And now reverse storefront stocking, we're going through a list and we're just trying to find profitable. So let's go ahead and take a look. Here's the filters I use, okay? There's 2 ways to think about it when putting filters. You can put a lot of filters to the point where you have 100 products that Keepa Product Finder will give to you, and then you got to reverse source from there. Or you can do it my way and kind of go really light on the filters. So you find 500 to 1,500 products. Now, newsflash, those 500 to 1,500 products are not going to be all profitable. And you know what? Probably 80%, 90% won't be profitable. But you're going to be able to squeeze out an extra, 5% of leads compared to going super, super strict. Because you'll find those leads that don't necessarily fit the exact criteria. But like I mentioned before, with an improved price, by just analyzing Keepa, you can often find things that will give you that first mover's advantage and will give you a lot of profit margin. So again, here's the list I put for filters. Amazon out of stock, obvious, right? We don't want to be competing with Amazon. I know there are some ways to compete with Amazon, but listen, if you're a beginner, I don't want you mixed up with all this. We don't want to compete with Amazon. So Amazon out of stock, price above $45. Why do I put that? It's because, again, usually products that would cost to get sold of like $10, I mean, if it sells crazy volume, you can definitely make a lot of profit with that, but your profit margins, and when the price tanks $1 or $2, that can go from a 50% ROI, a 30% margin, right, all the way down to a 10% margin or even losing money, all right, so quick because your starting point is not a large dollar amount. Whereas if we're doing price above $45, right, and we get our product at $50, the odds our cost of goods sold is probably going to be $25. So if we're aiming for around 30% ROI, right, it's like, what is that, like $7, $8? So at least it gives us a better chance at not getting our price tanked to the point where we're losing money, right? That's the whole goal. And then lastly, seller rank under 55K and above 30. This is for Canadian, right? You got to adjust for your own seller market, right? If you're in the United States, maybe it's going to be a little bit higher than that. We want to see actual movement, but why I do above 30 and not why, or you can do above 20 also. Again, you want to see 500 to 1,500 products around, so you can tweak these with using that. But I don't want to see the products that move ultra fast either. And my reasoning behind that is because certainly if you're a seller with lower amount of feedback reviews, right, you're going to have a hard time owning the buy box if there are very, very big sellers on the listing. And oftentimes those big sellers are on those listings that move really, really quick. So if you try to find products between 55K and 30K, and again, you can move these in either direction, it will give you a chance to find those products that the big dogs aren't necessarily looking for, and then also the ones that are potentially looking for and are more desperate for products in this zone, well, they're probably not using Keepa Product Finder. They're probably reverse storefront stocking. And these products, the golden products that maybe only have FBM sellers on it, that maybe have a 40K sales rank, well, you're now able to find them because everyone else is running around in circles over here using SellRamp, and you're over here alone really scouting out these products and honestly getting really good profits from them. So here's what I found during the process that I was prepping for this video is on the first page, I already found one product right away, right? The Uracin Complete Repair Lotion. I really like selling lotions. I think that it sells fairly well. You know, $31,000, 31,000 sale rank, nothing insane. It's just an average product. We're not looking for those top sellers, right? So when I click it, I search for a product. We found it selling for $27, right? And then we go in, $27. It's selling right now for $69.99. Okay, and we see movement, and it's not a variation listing, right? And we can see that when we actually do it, again, this video is not necessarily going to be teaching you the Keepa analysis, but when we go in there, we see, okay, every time there's an FBA seller, he runs out of stock. So, and that's $22 of profit. That's a lot. So that was right away. I was lucky. It's not going to be that quick, but usually, again, you're able to find these products with really, really big margins. Don't sell that much per month. Don't get me wrong. It's not something that's going to be crazy, but there's not going to be a lot of competition, right? On this, when I screenshotted this, there was 3 sellers. I believe 2 were FBM sellers. So now you get on this listing. Potentially, the person who just got on ends up selling out. Hopefully, it doesn't reblend. And now we're the only one, and we're controlling the buy box with a $22. Again, using this product, going back, right? If we just want to go back here, a lot of these products are going to be shit, right? These products right here, Water Wave. I don't like the hero image. I really like analyzing that hero image. And like I said before, I would have the buy cost, not the buy cost, but the sell cost on Amazon here, because I would like to see that. You see, if I would have saw this at $69.99, I probably did by scrolling a little bit right. But it just gives you a good indication of like, look, 31,000 sale rank, selling at $69.99. It's a lotion at 400 milliliters, not even a liter. I'm pretty sure I can get this. And then again, I found it for $27. By looking at everything else, you know, you just go one by one, like as if you were storefront stocking. The same idea. You click it, and then you open up SellerAmp. That's it. That's all. So what's next? Well, now you have 2 new tools in your toolbox to source more efficiently. Like everything, this too takes practice. Okay, you're not going to get it easily. However, my promise still, I believe, will stand true. Because if you do it enough, I guarantee you'll find new leads using Keepa Product Finder. And you'll also find really good leads that you'll have a first mover's advantage. And you might have not had leads like this in a while. So I hope you enjoyed. that's pretty much it. 20 minutes. I hope I didn't take too much of your time. I wanted to make this most efficient as possible. If you enjoyed, you can go ahead and find me also on YouTube. You can go back on Twitter and find that in the link tree. I also have a free course where I basically give even more information on Amazon. You can go ahead, again, that's on my link tree. That will also, you have to just subscribe to my newsletter. That's all I ask. You can unsubscribe after. That's just the way to get the course. You'll be able to get it there on my link tree on Twitter. So guys, hope you had a good day. Go ahead and go practice this and make sure you do, because it's going to change your business. I promise you that. All right, ciao.